going on? My name is Justin and you're checking out another tutorial from Modern Mixing. So in this tutorial I wanted to talk about an EQ that I've been using quite a bit lately on the mix bus, and I've dubbed it, my favorite new mix bus EQ, or in the box EQ anyways, but realistically it's not going to work on everything. But I just like the character and the color and the tone that it imparts, and it's not like it's just raising a bunch of frequencies. There's some other stuff going on in there that it's doing to the sound, where it's coloring things that I really like. So I've recently started incorporating this into the workflow, and I've been experimenting with it and trying things out. And I'm really happy with the results, and I find that it works on many different sources. So again, anytime I feel like I'm onto something, or I like the way that something's working out in my workflow, I try to share that with you as much as I possibly can. And that's exactly why I'm here today, right now, doing this video. So the thing about this EQ, well, let me first, tell you what it is. I need to open up the Blue Cat over here. So it is the Red EQ from Acustica. So this is not anything new. It wasn't like it was just released yesterday, but I've been slow to get into the Acustica stuff just because it's very CPU heavy, and it hasn't been very friendly as far as mixing is concerned. The GUI has never been that great, but this plugin is one of the free ones that they have. So again, I'll leave a link below and you can go check that out. But this is part of some free plugins that they offer. I think they have 2 or 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. And this works like a regular native EQ plugin would, where it's got your GUI, it's got your interface here, the way that the knobs boost and cut the frequencies. You got your input gain, your output gain. So it's very familiar to how I work with plugins, and I'm sure 99% of people out there work with plugins. So I was comfortable to start giving this one a try, and since it is pretty CPU heavy, you can see down here it only says 1%, but once I start pushing play, you'll see that go up quite a bit. I think it jumps up to about 10 or 11%, and that is quite a lot. So this is something I haven't really been able to use inside of the mix, just because, again, if you slap on 2 of these things, your mix is going to blow up, right? But the other thing that I noticed is that it's a little bit glitchy with this patchwork plugin. And, 99% of the time, the patchwork plugin by Blue Cat is ridiculously stable. So I'm assuming it has something to do with either this particular Acustica plugin or just the way that it interacts with the Blue Cat plugin. I'm not sure. But other than that, if you can get the settings tweaked to sort of how you like them, and then once you close the plugin, it runs seamlessly from there. Like, there's no hiccups, there's none of that stuff. So it works really well. But what I'll do is I'll jump right into sort of the sound of the before and after, and I got 2 different tracks here just to show you how it works on 2 different styles of records. So this top one here, the one that I just highlighted here, that's more of like a rock or indie rock, acoustic, electric guitar, live drums type of feel. And the bottom one here is more R&B. And you can tell, I did mix both of these ones, but they haven't been through any of the mastering stuff. So the mix bus was completely left naked. Like, there's no EQ, there's no compression, there's no tape emulation, whatever plugin you can think of. It's just bone dry. The mix bus was just completely naked. So I'll turn it off and then I'll turn it on, and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as what this plugin can do color-wise for your sound. So yeah, you should be able to hear that it went from something that was a lot more mid-rangey and I hate to use the word honky, but somewhat in that mid-range. It was very present, and then after throwing on this plugin, it seemed to clear that stuff up. It seemed to open up the bottom and the top end and really made those high sizzle, which is what I like to hear. So I'll bring up the plugin now. I'll kind of explain what I did. So you can see all I did was I did a tiny little boost in the low end here. It's an 80 hertz shelf, and it doesn't tell you the parameters, but I'm assuming it's, maybe 2 to 3 dBs, maybe not even. And then basically the exact same thing on the top end, and then I just turned the output gain down just a little bit to sort of compensate for the volume boost that you're getting here. And this high shelf is 8K. So the next one we have is this R&B one, and just to give you an idea of the sound and the color that it adds to the track, I'll demo this one. I'll leave the exact same settings, just to give you an idea of what the color is adding. I'm not doing anything too extreme here. It's maybe a dB or two or something on the top and the bottom, but again, it's just to sort of give you an idea of what the color is and how it imparts to the sound. But let's check it out.
Have I told you no? I don't want you, but you can't let me go. I've said it before that I'm not in your face, so don't be surprised if I don't reciprocate your love.
Okay, so it does a very, very similar thing where it kind of opens up the top end a little bit, just makes the track less focused on those mids. You still want those mids there. I definitely don't want to take them out, but it's just a little bit too pronounced. So after the EQ is added, again, it just opens up the track. It adds that extra little bit of sheen or color, and I don't feel like it's taking away from the punch or the clarity of the record either, which sometimes EQs on the mix bus can do, especially digital EQs. So that's why I'm really, really starting to enjoy this one. On this particular track, though, I don't know if I would use this EQ for this R&B one, just because the high-end inner vocals especially are sounding a little bit sizzly already to me, so I would probably use an EQ with a little bit of a softer tone to it, or maybe even throw a tape plug-in or something like that on it, just to relax those highs a little bit, because they seem a little bit too... aggressive is not the right word, but they're just a little bit too sizzly, just a little bit too much. But yeah, so again, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share this plugin with you. I've been seeing really good results with it, and if you haven't tried it, honestly, I think you should download it. At least it's worth a try. It's for both Mac and for PC. So again, if you're going to use it in Pro Tools, though, you do need the Blue Cat or something similar to the Blue Cat. But yeah, get your hands on that. Again, I'll leave a link below. So that's it for this video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.